What nobody tells you about solo travel is that eventually it gets quiet. Something shifts. You stop reacting to life and you start understanding it. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Krishna, the Modern Monk. What nobody tells you about solo travel is that eventually it gets quiet. And when it gets quiet, your life tends to catch up with you. Now, solo travel sounds exciting. New countries, new beaches, new experiences here at the temple. But what nobody tells you is this. When you're alone long enough, the distractions disappear. And suddenly you're left with something most people never experience anymore, time. So when you're constantly surrounded by people, routines, and obligations, you can move through life without ever really processing. But when you travel alone, you sit more, you pause more, you think more, you eat more by yourself. You're just by yourself more. And you find yourself sitting somewhere quietly at a cafe, on a beach, on a balcony overlooking the ocean. And without even trying, your thoughts start coming back. Old decisions, old relationships, questions you've been avoiding. Now, this is something I talk about often in yoga. When the mind becomes still, clarity begins to surface. But most people don't ever sit long enough to experience that. They fill every moment with noise, with distraction. Solo travel removes that escape. And when it does, you begin processing your life, which is a good thing. Now, recently I had a conversation with someone I met while traveling. We were talking about how rare it is to actually give yourself time to process things. And it hit me. Most people never do. They never sit and process their life. I met a beautiful soul at breakfast, and the funny thing is we were just sitting across from each other. She was kind of across me there, and we're at this hostel. People are kind of coming and going, checking in, checking out. And I had reached over for the fish sauce and just kind of like seasoned my eggs a little bit, because if you know Thailand, most time they don't season the eggs. So we actually had a little moment. She was kind of looking to see what I was doing. I noticed her like looking at the bottle, kind of questioning, what is it? She grabbed the bottle and I just said, yeah, you know, eggs here in Thailand, they never season them with salt. And if I put a little fish sauce, I noticed that it just changes everything and elevates it. And we kind of had a little chuckle. She agreed with me. And so from that, just fish sauce and eggs started this conversation. Needless to say, 2 hours later, we're deep in a conversation about life, about love, about traveling. She was also solo traveling like me. She didn't have an end in mind. She just knew she wanted to be out for 6 to 7 months. I didn't have an end in mind. We're talking about where we're going next. We're talking about just where we've been. And also just what I teach in yoga, yin and yang, and kind of going over things and just really getting deep with life in this conversation as another solo traveler does. And it's nice when we both open up. People traveling by. So it's nice to have another solo traveler that opens up about their life. And it was a wonderful thing because I could tell that she wanted to open up too, and I was ready to talk. And we both could have just sat there. You know, we could have just sat there eating our breakfast, not speaking to each other. And just this little comment about fish sauce and eggs opened up a whole world of conversation. And I really connected with this girl. We sat down for 2 hours. Not a single one of us checked our phones. Every once in a while, she had checked her phones, and I realized she told me, sorry, but she's checking out, so she needed to check on the time. But she was really interested in what I had to say about my travels through Thailand, through Malaysia. She was heading to Malaysia next, to Langkawi, and then heading on to Indonesia from there, which is where I'm heading next after Thailand. So we had a really beautiful conversation about male and female, about balance, yin and yang, as I tell her that I was teaching yin mostly back home. We're talking about the States. She was talking about the Netherlands, and we just had a beautiful conversation. So long story short, we really hit it off. We connected on social media, and we're following each other from that point. But that's how simple things can go when you're on the road. And we both talked about even loneliness of solo travel and, how it makes you think and makes you process. And she was actually enjoying that process because she never really has time since everyone's so busy back home in Europe. And I'm saying the same thing about America, that people are out of seven in America and they're go, go, go. They're in the yang mode all the time. They're in that masculine. She even talked a lot about how a lot of females are in their masculine too much, where they don't need men anymore. They act like they don't need men. And it was actually a welcome surprise because she was saying that she enjoys a calm man. That's why she was enjoying this conversation with me so much, because I had a calmness to my demeanor. And I think that comes with maturity as well as travel and experience. And she was appreciating that. And I was appreciating that she enjoyed men being men and women being women. Not that we need to be put in a certain box or place, but it was just an open conversation about life. And here's what I realized. Solo travel really isn't about just seeing the world. It's about finally giving yourself enough space to understand your life. Now, when you slow down long enough, patterns start to appear. You see your choices. You see things more clearly, like your direction, your purpose, what matters and what doesn't matter, actually, Morpho. That clarity doesn't come all at once. It comes slowly. It comes in waves. Thought by thought, day by day, you start to accumulate these different kind of thoughts, and eventually something shifts. You stop reacting to life and you start understanding it. Now, right now, I'm sitting on an island in Thailand. I'm here at a Buddhist temple. The ocean's right in front of me. Palm trees are moving in the wind. There's no schedule. There's really nowhere to be. There's just time. And I'm realizing something simple. Clarity isn't forced. Clarity appears when life finally gets quiet enough to hear it. And if you've ever felt the pull to travel alone, listen to that. Sometimes the real purpose isn't the destination. It's finally giving yourself the space to process your life. Now save this and come back to it when life starts to move too fast. And get out and travel and give yourself the time to decompress from your environment. I wish you blessings amongst your journey. Love and light. Namaste.